For centuries, immense tentacled bodies reached shore as fragments, turning deep ocean anatomy into stories of monsters. The animal behind those stories is now verified. The giant squid, scientifically known as Architeuthis ducks. Yet verification did not make it ordinary, because most of its life still unfolds beyond direct human observation. Its long arms, two extended feeding tentacles, enormous eyes, and muscular mantle look designed for nightmare and darkness. A stranded specimen proves the body exists, but cannot reveal how that body moves through its natural world. If you met one alive at depth, its behavior would matter more than the legends attached to its shape. The investigation follows a transformation from damaged remains to photographs, video, tissue, and living motion. Each step removes one uncertainty while exposing another about range, feeding, reproduction, growth, and mortality. Early sailors sometimes described gigantic attackers, but testimony alone cannot establish species, size, or behavior. Whale scars and stomach contents offered stronger clues, though neither showed a healthy squid acting freely. Recovered beaks survived digestion, allowing researchers to identify cephalopod prey consumed by deep-diving sperm whales. Complete and partial bodies eventually permitted anatomical study, measurement, dissection, and comparison across ocean regions. The opening monster thus became a biological subject through physical evidence, not through repetition of dramatic accounts. Still, reconstructions from dead animals can mislead when soft tissues stretch, shrink, decay, or lose natural posture. To meet the verified animal, science had to enter its habitat and observe without converting possibility into performance. Architeuthis ducks is a cephalopod mollusk related to other squids, octopuses, cuttlefishes, and nautiluses. Its mantle contains the organs, while fins near the rear help stabilize and maneuver the streamlined body. 8 arms surround the mouth, and 2 longer tentacles end in expanded clubs bearing toothed suckers. Those tentacles increase capture reach, while the arms help control prey drawn toward the central beak. Inside the mouth, a hard beak cuts tissue, and a radula assists processing before food enters the digestive tract. The eyes are among the largest documented in living animals, gathering limited light in the deep ocean. Large eyes may help detect broad silhouettes or bioluminescent disturbances, including those produced near approaching predators. That functional interpretation is supported by optical modeling and comparison, but exact visual experience remains unknowable. Giant squid tissue contains ammonium compounds that contribute buoyancy, reducing the energetic cost of remaining in deep water. This chemistry can make flesh unappealing to humans, yet it serves a practical role within the squid's environment. Specimens occur across multiple oceans, suggesting a broad distribution outside the coldest polar and warmest shallow waters. Genetic studies support close relationships among sampled giant squid, although population structure continues to be investigated. Size reports require care because tentacles stretch easily, and old accounts often lack preserved measurements. Females generally grow larger than males, and credible total lengths remain below many legendary claims. Even a conservative giant squid is immense, with a mantle and appendages extending across a substantial room. Growth must be rapid, as in other squids, but precise lifespan estimates for Architeuthis remain uncertain. Cuttlefishes and other hard structures can preserve growth information, though interpreting them in giant squid is challenging. Females carry numerous small eggs, while details of spawning place, courtship, and early development remain poorly observed. Males possess specialized reproductive anatomy for transferring spermatophores, documented directly from recovered specimens. These facts establish a real reproductive system without supplying a complete witnessed mating sequence. Sperm whales are confirmed predators because giant squid beaks and tissues occur in their stomachs. Circular scars on whales are consistent with sucker contact, but individual scars cannot reconstruct an entire encounter. Verified context replaces a singular monster with an animal embedded in food webs, anatomy, and evolutionary history. The decisive change came when cameras finally recorded giant squid alive in their deep environment. In the early 21st century, baited systems photographed a squid engaging near a line at depth. Later filming captured a living giant squid in its natural habitat, showing coordinated movement and a reflective appearance. These observations were historic because they documented behavior beyond the distortions of death and recovery. They did not prove every proposed hunting strategy, maximum speed, or response to predators. A squid detecting prey-related cues can orient, extend its feeding tentacles, seize a target, and draw it inward. This cue-action adaptation consequence sequence fits filmed behavior and functional anatomy without requiring monstrous aggression. Powerful circular muscles contract around the mantle cavity, forcing water through the funnel and producing jet propulsion. When disturbed, jetting can accelerate escape, while fins and gentle mantle pulses support slower control. The squid can alter skin appearance using pigment cells, although deep observations provide only limited behavioral context. If you watch a brief recording, remember that lights, bait, vehicles, and sound may influence the encounter. An approach toward bait demonstrates attraction under those conditions, not routine attacks on any large moving object. Stomach contents from specimens include fish and other squids, confirming a predatory diet. Prey remains are often fragmented, so identifying every species and reconstructing hunting depth can be difficult. Long tentacles suggest interception at a distance, but whether giant squid usually ambush or actively pursue remains unresolved. Their muscles appear adapted differently from those of fast surface predators, supporting a more measured deep-water lifestyle. However, decomposed specimens cannot provide reliable performance data, and healthy animals may exceed laboratory expectations. Another limitation is sampling bias, because stranded individuals may be sick, injured, dying, or transported by currents. Trawled squid can suffer severe damage during capture and rapid decompression, altering color, posture, and tissue condition. Recovered animals, therefore, reveal structure and chemistry more securely than normal behavior. Sperm whale diving patterns indicate repeated access to depths where giant squid may occur. A whale uses echolocation, descends through darkness, searches for prey, and returns carrying metabolic evidence of deep feeding. This sequence supports predator-prey overlap, but no clear wild recording, yet resolves a complete giant squid hunt. Marks on squid bodies may indicate encounters, disease, parasites, or equipment injury depending on context. Scientists separate direct observation from inference by asking which event a specimen can uniquely demonstrate. The greatest behavioral unknowns concern mating, spawning, migration, daily vertical movement, and early life stages. The animal is verified, while much of its biography remains a carefully bounded hypothesis. Its ecological role begins with consuming midwater prey and transferring that energy into a large muscular body. Sperm whales then carry some of that energy upward through feeding, respiration, movement, and waste. Dead giant squid may sink, feeding scavengers and microbes on the seafloor. Juveniles likely occupy different size niches from adults, connecting small prey and predators across changing depths. A young squid detects movement, adjusts fin and mantle motion, captures manageable prey, and converts food into rapid growth. As the body enlarges, extended tentacles broaden capture range, while buoyant tissue reduces constant swimming costs. When a predator approaches, visual cues or water disturbance may trigger color change, withdrawal, or jet-powered escape. These responses are plausible from cephalopod biology and limited footage, but their frequency in Architeuthis remains unknown. Giant eyes may be especially useful for detecting large moving whales through faint bioluminescent signals around disturbed organisms. It demonstrates how a large, active predator can persist where light is scarce and direct observation remains difficult. Its verified existence also teaches a broader lesson about marine reports. Physical evidence can rescue truth from exaggeration. Some legends may begin with real animals, yet narrative size and behavior can expand far beyond specimens. Conversely, skepticism should not dismiss unfamiliar life merely because observation is rare. The correct position changes with evidence, moving from possibility to identification, then toward measured behavioral understanding. Human activities may affect giant squid through fishing, prey changes, pollution, warming, and shifting oxygen conditions. The magnitude of those effects is uncertain because abundance, population trends, and habitat use are poorly constrained. Occasional captures cannot by themselves establish decline or stability across a globally distributed deep water species. Protection begins with knowing where the animal lives, how populations connect, and which pressures overlap its habitat. Future evidence requires observations that minimize bait effects while covering broad depths and long periods. Low-light camera systems could record natural movement without overwhelming the squid's visual environment. Environmental DNA can indicate recent local presence, but it cannot reveal body size, abundance, or behavior alone. Animal-borne cameras on sperm whales might expose shared habitat, although attachment, visibility, and interpretation create serious limitations. Carefully documented specimens remain essential for age, reproductive condition, diet, genetics, parasites, and contaminant analysis. Standardized measurements would prevent elastic tentacles and damaged tissues from inflating size comparisons. Repeated imaging across oceans could test whether color, posture, and hunting responses vary with region or life stage. Long observations may distinguish a curious inspection from feeding, defense, courtship, or simple passage. Tracking water temperature, oxygen, prey layers, and depth would connect encounters to environmental conditions. You would then see not a sudden apparition, but an animal choosing among cues within a structured habitat. Evidence of eggs or juveniles in context could locate nursery zones and clarify the earliest hidden chapters. Directly observed mating would transform reproductive knowledge, though searching for it across deep ocean remains formidable. Reliable abundance estimates would require designs that account for attraction, avoidance, visibility, and enormous survey volume. No future image should be asked to prove more than its frame, duration, and conditions actually contain. The old sea monster survives culturally because darkness leaves room for scale, violence, and intention to be invented. Science has replaced that invention with Architeuthis ducks, a real predator whose verified body still guards an incomplete life. When you return to the tentacles in black water, the honest wonder is not a monster, but an animal finally seen and not yet fully known.